Hello and welcome to another exclusive review with me, Alex Belfield, here at celebrityradio.biz. We just hit 60 million minutes viewed on YouTube. We're the number one reviewer of theatre in the UK and Las Vegas on YouTube and Google, and this week we're in Manchester for Snow White, starring Craig Revel Horwood and Ben Nicholas, with Dame by Eric Potts. There's no doubting that this is another Kudos spectacular, but unfortunately, despite being in one of the biggest cities in the UK, in one of the biggest theatres, Kudos can't afford real dwarves for Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, so have much cheaper 6-foot-tall actors black-clothed on their knees. That is a major problem for us. We'll get to that in a bit, and that is why we can't support this production. It's offensive, it's outdated, and it's cheap on the part of these multi-millionaires who are staging it. In terms of talent, well, Craig Revel Horwood has got a gorgeous voice. He looks $1 million, but you could argue he's somewhat overexposed in this. He is, of course, one of the biggest stars in the UK. Having just finished on Strictly Come Dancing on Saturday nights on BBC One, it's unsurprising that he's in the third biggest city in the UK to star in Snow White. We get to hear him sing, and it's impressive. We get to see some fabulous costumes, which are beautifully lit in some beautiful scenes. But as we all know, the only thing the audience really love in pantomime is the comedy lead, and we've got a corker in Ben Nicholas this year. Back for a second year, in fact, in Manchester. Ben is effortlessly funny, sort of a mix of Brian Connolly, Billy Pearce, Joe Pasquale. If you like that type of humour, you'll love Ben. He is just instinctively funny. Meanwhile, the Dame is played by Eric Potts, who really is one of the best in the business, but in this show, for some reason, has been sidelined, and I'm not quite sure why. That's disappointing. He is funny, he is great, and he should be celebrated. I think they missed a trick in what appears to be another Kudos cut and paste pantomime. Again, we're not quite sure where we last saw this. We think it might have been either Darlington or Newcastle. So disappointing that once again script is the biggest problem for Kudos, just relying on scripts from years ago and simply changing the odd name of the place that it is in this year. As I say though, our biggest problem with this production is the fact it's Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs without dwarves. Dwarves are actors who have a disability and therefore should be treated with respect. They're also more expensive because of course they get offered less work, and when they do they need to be paid more. So Kudos choose not to do the honourable thing and pay them the £300 more. They decide to get full-length actors, 6-footers, on their knees, black cloth, which are £300 cheaper. It's classless, it's unethical, and it shouldn't be allowed. It's happening in Bradford, it's happening at the GEC in Glasgow, and it's happening here in Manchester, the third biggest city. They're not doing it in Birmingham, Michael Harrison's Pride production, and they didn't do it at the Palladium, Nick Thomas's Pride production. So why have contempt for the regions? It's unacceptable, and that therefore is the reason we give this a 3-star review. Nothing to do with the talent. Craig is not only, he'll hate me saying this, one of the nicest men in show business, he's also a great talent who gives it 100%. Ben is a fabulous turn, and Eric is a stunning dame. But we can't get past this contempt by Kudos, shortchanging the audience, shortchanging the dwarves, and giving 7 actors work that should be given to those of diminutive stature. Therefore, you've been listening to another 3-star review by me, Alex Belfield, here at celebrityradio.biz, where last year we had over 12 million minutes viewed on YouTube. You can check out all of our hundreds of interviews and reviews at www.celebrityradio.biz. Ta-da.